So hello you guys and welcome back to my channel. It's probably been a whole 5 fucking minutes since you've seen me. I was gonna do a Q&A, just one big video, but I can't. I talk too fucking much and then the video runs too long and then I get paranoid and I'm like, no one's gonna want to watch it if it's 45 minutes long. Shut up, wrist. Now's not the time for cracking. So these questions are from Instagram. Caitlin asked, do you think you'd ever do reactions to Supernatural? If you could create your dream convention, what 3 show casts would you have there? Love as always, my dude. Well, first of all, happy birthday, because I know you turned 21 this week. It's a big birthday and I'm just sorry that it was such a suckish year. I still hope you had a good day anyway. Reactions for Supernatural is something that I could possibly do. And if I was to create my own dream convention, what 3 shows would I have? The Walking Dead would have to be there, because that just owns my whole ass. The Walking Dead would have to be there. Probably Supernatural. And maybe Game of Thrones. Commissioner 189 asked, how would you like The Walking Dead to end? What do you think of the end? And your videos always make me smile. Oh, thank you. See, here's the thing. I always feel so bad saying what I want to see because I'm not a writer. I'm not somebody who's... I don't know. I don't have the qualifications to kind of talk about this kind of shit, I guess. I don't know much about script writing, about TV show land. But as someone who's watched TV for like all of my life, I kind of feel like I know a little bit what I'm talking about. And when it comes to shows that I love, like The Walking Dead, I feel like I know enough to kind of pass comment. So I just want to see, I don't know, I just want to see happiness and contentness, I suppose. I want the cast to be happy with it too. I want the cast to be able to look back and be proud of it. Because like, you know, like with the reception to Supernatural ending and the reception to Game of Thrones ending, I feel so incredibly bad for the cast. Like, I just want to wrap them all in blankets and hug them and tell them that they did a good job, that it isn't their fault that people aren't happy. They didn't write the scripts, they simply showed up and did what they were told. I hope that doesn't happen with The Walking Dead, because I have to say, if I see people coming from my favourite actors, I will go feral. I will go fucking feral. Bianca asked, if you could bring back one character from either The Walking Dead or Fear, who would it be and why? Fuck it, Glenn. Fuck it, Glenn. I would bring Glenn back so Maggie could be happy. TV Flag asked, if you were chosen to play a character on The Walking Dead, who would you want to play? Ooh, I love your videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Do you mean like a character that already exists, or I get to be whoever I want on the show? Because I would just be like, I don't know. Oh, there's so many options. I could just be like the go-for. I could just be the person that hangs around and brings people stuff when they need it. Like if Daryl needs more arrows, I could be like, I will do that for you. If Judith needs new markers for her school stuff, I'd be like, I will get them for you. You know what I mean? I want to be the person that's kind of everywhere, but that no one really notices. I just get to stand and observe. Or I could be the dumbass that trips and gets eaten within the first 5 minutes of an episode. But my God, how fun would that be? How fun would that be to get done up in the walker guts and gunk and glory? Harry asked, how do you think The World Beyond Season 2 will end? Love your videos and they never fail to make me happier. You guys, you say a lot of sweet shit like that, and it's just so weird for me. I don't take compliments well. I never have. So when I'm like, oh, thank you, like that means a lot. I mean it, but like it's still crazy to me that anybody even bothers to watch. That's not me being humble. That's me being genuine. So thank you for taking time out to watch me. World Beyond, because it's such a limited series and there is only going to be 2 seasons. I'm guessing it's going to end on somewhat of a cliffhanger that will get picked up either in the Rick movies or we're going to cross over to Fear or some fucking shit. I don't think we're going to get a clean-cut ending that's just like, and scene kind of deal, you know? I do think it's going to end somewhat open-ended. Thomas asked, is YouTube your full job or a side project? YouTube is kind of a side project. Patreon is my job. The stuff I put up over there and stuff, that's my job, and that's where most of my income comes from. I love YouTube. And I love that I can talk direct to you guys and I can throw up a video or throw up a comment on the community tab and you guys will see it. But it's just not reliable. You know what I'm saying? Drugget asked, what do you like about Walking Dead World Beyond? I like Felix. I think Felix is a great character. Yakumeshi asked, have you been in South America? And hi from Mexico. I've never been to South America. The only places I've been to London and Birmingham in England. I've been to Hamburg in Germany. And I've been to New York. My TWD said, if you had a community like Alexandria Hilltop, what would your name be and how would it look? Jesus. I'm not great with naming stuff. How would we look? Well, I'm somebody who I can never decide. I can't decide on my own style. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if you go back to my videos, I have somewhat of an identity crisis every like 3 or 4 months. So I don't know if we'd be able to stick with a staple look. They can, my community can, but like I won't be sticking to one particular look. I'm incapable of that. I started this year, for example, with a Peaky Blinder haircut, and I'm ending this year looking like Willy Wonka. What would her name be? I don't know, but I did make a point recently. I think I was watching The Punisher, and I made a point where if you're trying to take someone down without like seriously damaging them, kick them in the nuts, right? Come up behind them, swift kick to the nuts. If they've got dude parts. If they don't have dude parts, we'll have to replan. But if they got dude parts, you could just kick them in the nuts. You know, swoop in the dead of night, kick him in the nuts. So you could be like the midnight nut kicker. I think that's such a cool name. I came up with that name recently and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to use that in the future. So, Ahmed asked what you think about the end of Supernatural. I've kind of answered that right now. It was bittersweet. There were some parts of it I really did like. There were some parts of it I really did not like. Whiskey Wishes said, what's your favourite show or video game right now? Games I just don't have the attention span for. The only game I play is Fortnite because it is colourful, bright and fast moving. Ticks all my boxes. I've restarted Supernatural again. That has just taken over my life. And I started doing reactions for The Punisher on Patreon, and I have to say, I think I'm like 6 episodes in. I am a little bit ashamed that it's taken me this long to start it. I love it. Wallflower asked, favourite song or album or movie? My favourite song since I've been like 12 has been a song called Dancing in the Moonlight by Thin Lizzy. Once you hear the start of that bass line, I'm just like, oh, I can feel my soul about to fucking lose it. That's probably my favourite song of all time. Closely followed by You Take My Breath Away by Queen. Favourite album, probably an album called That's the Spirit by Bring Me the Horizon. And my favourite movie, don't know anymore. The Jake of the Jeffries, what a name, said, I've been watching your videos on Patreon, mainly the Teen Wolf ones, as it's my favourite show. My question is, how are you finding the show and what are your predictions? I'm loving it. Like, I remember being in school and a lot of people I hung around with loved Teen Wolf, and I was just more, I always went hardcore into Supernatural. All of my friends kind of went hardcore into Teen Wolf or True Blood. They were really big at the time. I'm really liking it. I feel like Styles makes the show for me. He's one of the best written best friends that I've seen ever. I just think he's fucking brilliant. I'm guessing Scott is probably going to become an alpha at some point because him and Derek have this weird kind of tug of war going on. But I really am liking it. Meg asked, what did you think about the way Supernatural made Destiel canon? I feel like I and a lot of other people waited a very long moment for it. And if they had followed up that scene with something, it would have been perfect. Castiel's declaration was so gorgeous and so heartfelt, and Misha just, oh my god, give that man a fucking Emmy. And same for Jensen. People say that Jensen, he didn't react, he didn't respond. Go back and watch the scene. My man, he doesn't need words. You can see it in his eyes. He is just crying and he is confused and he's like, please don't go into the empty. I feel like what he said to what Cass said to Dean was beautiful. And I feel like it's everything that Dean lovers, the people, if you love Dean's character, what Cass said is everything that you wish you could have said to him. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. But I wish they had followed it up with something. Either Dean speaking about it to somebody or Dean reconnecting with Cass either in heaven or on Earth after Cass got saved by Jack. I'm like, why didn't we get a resolution to that? Like, you know, and people are saying it's because it was unrequited. It's because Dean didn't feel the same. Okay, fine. Then why not fucking say that? Why not show that? You know what I'm saying? I feel like both characters deserved better in that situation. But I feel like that scene in itself was absolute lightning in a bottle. That's a ship that I'm always gonna be on board no matter what. And I know a lot of people don't ship them, and that's fine. That's completely fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But Cass saved Dean's ass more times than we can count. He always came when he called. He was always there for him. Obviously, yeah, there was struggles, there was problems in the past, but I wish we had gotten to see more. I wish we'd gotten more representation when it comes to that. I just like to think that they're in heaven together and that for some reason we just never got to see it. In my head, that's canon. They're together in heaven and they're happy. Philip asked, would you like to visit New Zealand? Yes and no. I always wanted to visit New Zealand and like Australia and places like that, but You guys have some big ass fucking spiders and shit, and you got some creatures living there that I've only seen in books. Lily asked, what inspired you to make your YouTube channel, and do you ever feel unmotivated to upload or create new videos? Lots of love to you. Thank you. When it comes to like making my channel, I never really thought about it as I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna make a channel and I'm gonna upload and I'm gonna have a schedule. I never thought of it that way. It was just a case of I was like, oh, people like react to stuff? That looks fun. I've got a lot to say. I might do that. I'd be completely lying if I said that I've never felt unmotivated or unsure of myself when it comes to videos. One thing I always say to people when it comes to like starting out online, and like I don't even have that big of an audience. I mean, to me, I never expected to get this far, but I know there's people with like millions and hundreds of thousands and huge fucking channels and stuff. But to me, the one thing that I would say is just you gotta have a tough skin. If you're gonna do anything involving the internet, if you're gonna do anything involving being online, you have to be able to tune people out, because you will go fucking crazy otherwise. Anything negative you could say about someone, I've heard it. And it's like, it used to get to me, and then I just tuned it out. If I start reading a comment and I see that, I'm just like, oh, next, whatever. So that kind of can be unmotivating or disheartening, I guess. But at the same time, it's worth it, because like the amazing people you get to meet online and stuff, and the connections that you can make with people, and the fact that even for 5 minutes, if I can make someone laugh, if I can say something that sticks in somebody's head, it's worth it. Manonle asked, how was your high school experience? It's something that I don't really think about that often. It was okay. Was it terrible? It could have been worse. It could have been a lot better. I had a very small group of friends. I don't know if I would have like made it through school if it weren't for them. I was never popular. I was never in with the cool kids. I never really feel like I fit in anywhere with anybody. And to this day, I kind of still feel that way. So that was kind of hard to come to terms with in school. But like, academic-wise, I was okay. I was so afraid of getting in trouble that I never skipped class. I always handed in homework on time. I'd got in trouble a few times when I was younger for talking in class, but that was about it. Like, I don't remember ever getting detention. I got class detention once, which was my whole class got put in detention, but that was nothing got to do with me. I didn't do nothing. It was hard in the way that like I wanted to get piercings and I wanted to dye my hair and go crazy. At my school, they did not allow that. I dyed my hair blue once, but it was like a blue-black, so you could only see it was blue in the daylight, so I avoided the daylight. I got my eyebrow pierced when I was in school, so then I walked around like a total emo. I used to keep my fringe down like this, because it was this eyebrow. Everyone just thought I was fucking weird, and I was like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But they thought I was just being like mysterious, and I was like, nah, love, I'm hiding an eyebrow piercing. I do miss my friends from school, sometimes. Well, that sounded a bit cold. I do miss them, like, obviously, but, you know, life kind of has a way of dissolving people. Oliver said, do you think Daryl stays on a motorcycle because he's scared of horses after being yeeted off the cliff? I heard Norman is scared. Yeah, Norman doesn't like horses. He said it before, that he lied about being able to ride horses. I think it was for the Boondock Saints. And then he got put on a horse and he was like, fuck! Connor asked, will you be watching Selena? And can we start a petition to not see 2 Christian Svados characters die next year? I haven't started Selena yet. I don't think it's on my Netflix. I think it's on American Netflix, but it hasn't been put up over here yet. I am planning on watching it, and I swear I don't see them killing Rosita simply because Christian managed to film Selena at the same time, or in and about the same time as she filmed The Walking Dead. So they haven't killed her off yet, so I don't see them doing it. Marina said, how would you like Daryl and Rick to reunite? I don't know, but I would just like Daryl to get closure. Because I don't think Daryl has dealt with half of that yet, and half of the grief and trauma that caused him. Dude, how even though, asked, you may have said something about this already, but I've only started watching your videos. What is your relationship status? I'm in a relationship. It's been tough because we're long distance, and this year has been hell. Because travel has been like fucking non-existent. Yeah, I don't really talk about him that much. I do keep certain parts of my life private, and that's part of my life that I don't really talk about much. Yeah. Simply because if somebody was to like say something mean to him or go off at him, I would absolutely, I'd snap. So I keep all that kind of stuff separate to YouTube and videos. Nomad asked, what do you hope to accomplish by the end of 2021? Do you have any goals you want to meet? Wow. Yeah, I'd say yeah, I do. I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of changes next year because this year has just been, it's been fucking ridiculous and it's been really hard. But this year has given me personally a lot of time to think about what I want, about my life. I don't like thinking about that kind of stuff. It's too fucking heavy. There was times this year where my only goal was to just make it to the end of the year. And I have done that. And I'm proud of myself for doing that. I've always said, as long as I'm happy, that's all I want. That's all I want from life, is to just be happy and content. Stupid things, like I'd like to get more tattoos next year. I've only got one this year. Actually, I got one and I'm getting one on Tuesday. So that'll be fun. But I would like to get more tattoos. I'd like to go to more concerts. I'd like to travel more. I'd like to feel alive. I'd like to be at a different place this time next year than I am right now. We'll see if that works out. We'll see how much I can actually manage to pull off. Flinted Steel asked, what software do you use to record your videos? I use OBS. The way I record is I used to use a camera, but my camera used to die after 20 minutes of recording and then I'd have to wait for it to charge up, and it made recording next to impossible. So I switched it out and I got a Logitech. Oh Jesus, it's a Logitech webcam. It's one of the newest ones. I think it's the C20 Pro or something, and I use OBS to record my screen, and I can record the episode that I'm watching as I'm recording my screen, which helps a lot with editing, and it helps cut editing down. I use iMovie to edit. So yeah, and I use a Blue Snowball mic. Marina asked, do you feel that there's going to be a Connie Darrell storyline before the Carol Darrell show? The thing with Darrell, I think, with Ships and Darrell, it's very dangerous grounds. Shippers are very passionate and they're very vocal. I get that. I have certain ships that I am like ride or die for, so I get it. I like the idea of Donnie, which is Connie and Darrell. I just think they're cute. I like that idea. Personally, I would like to see that. That being said, in the past, I loved the idea of Darren and Carol getting together. I really did. But then I felt like so much time had passed. I felt like so much had happened that I was like, okay, that's not going to happen. And I feel like I did move on from that. But as we saw in Supernatural, there is such thing as a very, very slow burn. I don't know. I wouldn't be mad at the idea of Darrell and Carol getting together, but I like the idea of Connie and Darrell getting together. And I'm like, I don't see the three of them getting together, so like, I don't know. There was also a time I thought Darrell maybe could have been asexual, and that could be explored a bit, and it would have been nice to see some representation for the ace community, but I don't know. I truly don't know what way they're going to take Darrell's character with this. Giles asked, what does Katie like doing behind the reactions, hobbies, or things you just genuinely enjoy? I love music. Music is probably one of my favourite things ever. I love music, I love concerts, I love tattoos. I've always been a kind of more arty person, so I love knitting, I love embroidering, I love crocheting, I love all that kind of stuff that you probably wouldn't expect from somebody like me. I don't look like a bitch who would knit. Gillian said, if Walker Stalker comes back, would you attend one? I don't know. That whole thing was just such a mess, and then with how it ended, it was such a mess. I will cherish the memories I have from those conventions forever, but at the same time, I feel like the last one was so not what it should have been, and it left such a disaster in its wake that I don't think I would, to be honest. I hope the Walking Dead cast either come up with their own convention or just kind of move on to another convention. FT Taylor said, what's it like knowing some of the Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead cast know you by your name and remember you? It's terrifying. It's really terrifying. I'm someone who I make a lot of jokes, and I know I curse a lot, and I know I shout the loudest, and I know I'm very animated, but at the same time, it's so contradictory to say I'm not a big fan of attention. If you've met me in real life, you'll know exactly what I mean. You know how fucking awkward I am. But it's strange because I do love the show, and I love the characters. But like with Twitter as well, I feel like Twitter is just a minefield, because I am lucky. I know a lot of the cast do follow me, but like then I'm like, okay, well then be careful with what you're saying, because you don't know who's going to see your tweet. So if I want to like thirst over Jensen Ackles or thirst over someone, I'm like, careful. Or if I'm watching The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead or whatever, if I'm watching a Walking Dead universe show and I see someone and I'm like, oh my god, they're so beautiful, I'm like, careful, because if you say that, they could hear it. It's great though, I'm not gonna lie, it really fucking is great. I don't think anything in the world will ever beat maybe Jeffrey, simply because John Winchester, that whole thing. So getting to meet Jeffrey felt like a high five to my younger self. He's a great dude. Like, he's really sweet and he's very funny. And like, as a grown-ass woman, I can appreciate that. And he's a fantastic actor and he's been in so many things that I love. But I can't shake the fact that I've been crushing on him since I was 14. So it's funny that like I feel like I can't talk about things like that in case people see it. And I'm like, I just want a fangirl. Terry asked, what was your favourite year at Walker Stalker? Ooh, my favourite year. Probably 2017. Is that the year I had the mohawk? Oh, no, 2018. Wait, no, 27. Wait, no. It's a toss-up between 2017 and 2018. 2017 because I went a little bit fucking nuts that year. Oh yeah, I did. I went nuts that year. That's the year I shaved my head, got a mohawk, and that's also the year I first met Carrie. Carrie, who's one of my favourite humans in the whole wide world and is just so lovely. 2017, I'm gonna go with. Final answer. With a mixture of 2018. Meow Talika asked Brad Pitt or Leonardo DiCaprio. Are we talking looks or are we talking acting wise here? Feel like Leo is the better actor, but Brad Pitt has been in more movies that I enjoy. But I'm not particularly into either of them. There is a controversial take on that for you. Jamie asked, will you shave your head bald ever? I'm not gonna lie, probably. I've spent all of this year growing it out and I don't know. I'm not used to having hair. I'm not a fan of it, which is kind of weird to say. It gets in your eyes, it gets in your hair. I've had it tickle my ear. I slapped myself into the face the other day when I was out in public because a little bit of hair under my mask got stuck like this and started tickling me and I thought it was a spider. Full on walloped myself into the face. Yeah, I probably would shave my head bald. Oh Jesus, yes. Oh fuck. I haven't even read the question yet and oh fuck. Would you rather have an itch in the middle of your back that you can't reach and no one's allowed to get it for you? That's evil. Daily for a year, or have a stone in your shoe you can't remove for a year. You'd be a fantastic torturer. I would say a stone in my shoe because I kind of have no feeling. I have no feeling. And funnily enough, I have really bad circulation in my hands and my feet. They're nearly almost numb and I'm not even joking. That's why my hands are always so pink. If you guys see in videos, I've had people say it to me a lot, wow, your hands are pink, and I'm like, yeah, thanks. I've got really poor circulation, so my hands and my feet are always like pink and cold. So I'm going to say the stone, because I could just go shoeless. Didn't think of that, did you? Nightingale asked, where do you hope to see yourself in 5 years or 10 years? I have gotten asked this before, and my answer is, as long as I'm happy, I don't care. My life has taken so many twists and turns that I couldn't have predicted what would have happened, and I've had really fantastic things happen to me and I've also had really shit things happen to me, and I'm just happy to still be here. I'm happy to still be here along for the ride. I'm happy that I get to wake up every morning. I'd like to be doing something that I love, and I do love making videos. I would like to get into acting a lot. I really would like to get into acting. I don't know how to go about it. I very rarely look past tomorrow though, as a general rule of thumb. Jay Stone asked, what do you think about the show The 100 and are you going to be able to show your Christmas tree? The 100 I'm loving. I'm doing reactions on Patreon for that and I'm loving. I think I'm nearly finished season 3, I think. The Christmas tree is right there, but she kind of out of frame. There she is. There's no way I can have that beast in frame with me because this part of my room is just too small. So, Dalty Cookie asked, I noticed your Linkin Park tattoo. I was wondering on what your favourite song from them is. My favourite song with them is probably Lies, Greed and Misery. That song just gets me pumped up like nothing else. That and Roads Untravelled. They're two of my favourite songs. That's it for the Instagram questions, you guys. Thank you so much for leaving your questions. Thank you for watching and being here with me as always. Thank you guys so much for the support throughout the year, for the lovely comments and the lovely tweets and the messages and stuff that you guys always do leave. It does mean a lot to me. I hope you're doing okay wherever you are in the world, whatever your situation is or your surroundings are. I hope you're okay. As always, link to my Patreon is down below where I do a whole bunch of reactions to a whole bunch of different shows. Link to my Twitter and my YouTube is also down below. And yeah, thank you guys for watching and I'll talk to you all soon.